Now, this is Malik Reed against the New York Jets here, and I made the argument. I feel like Malik Reed, watching the film, was one of the best edge defenders against the run that the Broncos had, and he's going to make a great play here against Frank Gore to the outside. The Broncos defense in general really makes it tough for Frank Gore. The inside hole where he's supposed to run is not there because of Alexander Johnson and Mike Purcell. But ultimately, Malik Reed doing his job here. Now, ideally, what you're going to see a focus on this blocking scheme where essentially the tackle is going to come out and hedge against Malik. This guy's supposed to lead up inside, but the Broncos' penetration caused by Shelby Harris, Mike Purcell, Alexander Johnson, these guys all create havoc here. Now, as you can see right here, Frank Gore's ideally supposed to go through this hole, but Shelby Harris has an outside hand free. Purcell's hedging here. Alexander Johnson is closing in on the gap, so now Malik Reed, who we all see right here, he is playing edge. He's keeping his outside hand free, and watch as Gore comes out, he's going to extend, wrap up. He and Josie Jewell are going to come up with a big play here against the Jets. Malik Reed on this play is going to do a phenomenal job of being a technician. He's going to be fundamentally sound. Now you're going to see a handoff to the right side of the defensive perspective, the offensive left. It's going to go away from Malik Reed. What you're going to see Malik Reed do, he's going to track underneath. He's going to do his job, and he's going to track backside in case the cutback is there. He's going to make the play. Now, you have to give a lot of credit here to Anthony Chickillo off the edge. You have Deshaun Williams and Shelby Harris. These guys are causing havoc in the backfield. They're making it hard for Frank Gore or even P. Ryan to be able to run in this game. Malik Reed is going to track down the line of scrimmage, hill line depth, and he's going to be there to make the tackle. That is disciplined, fundamental football, folks. I love it. I love what I see here. Now let's take a look at the Broncos' alignment overall defensively. Now, pre-snap, taking a look at it, Shelby Harris, he's lined up in a 3 technique. Deshaun Williams here, he's kind of slanted like he's in a 2-eye, but he's going to crash inside. Alexander Johnson obviously as well, and then Malik Reed on the outside. He's going to do a phenomenal job. Watch it. You got flow, run look to the defensive right side. Malik Reed, instead of coming underneath where he's going to cross in front of the tackle, he does a great job. This is what he's coached to do. He's supposed to track backside, hill line depth, not get too far upfield, but track down hill line depth to where he can make a play on the cutback. Now, Shelby Harris right here is doing a phenomenal job beating his man. This running back has nowhere to go because the Broncos' run fits are doing a really good job. So guess what? He's going to stop, backtrack, try to cut back, and then bam, he cuts back right into Malik Reed, who has a tackle for a loss on the play. That is disciplined, fundamental football. This was Malik Reed's coming out game, in my opinion, against the New England Patriots. Now, what we're going to see here, folks, okay, the Broncos, they're going to shift over this defensive lineman, and that's going to free up Alexander Johnson. He's going to step up, blitz inside the A-gap, Deshaun Williams here, and obviously Malik Reed off the edge, Callahan against the corner, Simmons lined up against the tight end. He's going to play run field support as well. Offset motion here from the fullback. It's going to be a lead run play here, and this is chaos. I mean, the Broncos' run defense at the beginning half of the season was very damn good. It was top ranked in the NFL. And then Mike Purcell obviously had an injury that sidelined him for quite some time. But Malik Reed plays the edge of the line of scrimmage really well. The Broncos' pressure from the safeties, the linebackers, interior pressure from the D-line made Malik Reed's job so much easier. I mean, they flowed guys right to him, and he had a lot of success with it. So as you can see, the offset I formation, he's going to motion backside here. Malik's going to just play the edge here. He's going to compress it, crash it down. Now, Broncos shift over. Alexander Johnson, boom, blitz here, boom. Boom, Malik Reed off the edge, and Justin Simmons is going to play inside run here because Bryce Callahan's going to have outside contain. He's going to be responsible alongside Malik Reed. Now, as you can see, Simmons coming through this gap, he shoots through it, does a really great job. Now he's going to force the bounce back by Harris to the outside. Malik Reed, you see the leverage with this hand here. He's going to be able to keep this outside hand free, wrap up and make the play, and he can extend it. If he misses here, guess what? Bryce Callahan's on the outside. He's going to force him to extend wide as well, and this was a phenomenal play by Malik Reed. Great motor, great discipline. Now, similar to a couple plays ago when I showed you the New York Jets play when he played the backside run here, he does the same exact thing against the Patriots. They're going to run away from him towards Bradley Chubb's side, and he's going to do a great job filling hill line depth, squeezing it down the line of scrimmage, trailing. The cutback is there, and guess who's there too? Malik Reed. Look, you ask a guy to do his job, play the edge of the line of scrimmage, play contain, play the cutback. He does a really good job. He's been very solid, very consistent. This is why he became the starting outside linebacker opposite of Bradley Chubb after week 1. I mean, he really stepped up in a big way, made the most of his opportunities. Now you have Mike Purcell lined up in a zero technique, head up on the center. You're going to have flow to the defensive right, so he's going to track backside. Love that right there. So anytime you have run going away from you, you always have to cut it down. Hill line depth. The Broncos do a really good job there because now you have two guys really focused on Mike Purcell. Shelby Harris is barreling through, creating penetration, And then you have Alexander Johnson stepping in right here. Bradley Chubb doing a great job because when it's flowing a run to the outside, he is attacking. He's congesting it to where that running back, if he wants to get outside, he's going to have to bounce backwards. He's going to have to go backwards to be able to do that. He doesn't do that. You're not coached to go outside even further when it's not there. You're supposed to try to just get skinny and try to get what you can. Malik Reed does a great job pursuing this backside, makes the play. Now, on this play, Malik Reed is going to make a very instinctual football play. It's a screen pass by the New England Patriots. Now, what you're going to see, the running back right here, he's going to leak out 1-1001 sit, and then Cam's going to deliver him the ball. Malik Reed does a great job attacking upfield, recognizing it, and then taking an angle backside to be able to track down the play from behind. As you can see, he sees it. Now, he takes a great angle, and you're only going to get a few yards rather than a first down. This is just a heads-up football play by Malik. And like I said, he's just a fun player to watch because he's so attention to detail. Now you have Anthony Chickalo opposite of him. Really, the offensive line kind of gives this away, right? And if it's too easy, there's a rule in football, folks. If the offensive line, if the offensive line just lets you upfield, there's a screenplay. There's something wrong with it. It's not normal. It's not natural. Now, you can see that. They're letting pressure leak through Malik Reed. His eyes, he's looking at Cam Newton. He's not even staring at the running back yet. He's just looking at Cam. He's going to see that Cam's going to reverse pivot. He sees it. Then he's like, all right, I make the connection now. Now he's going to do a great job tracking his backside. Good angle, good pursuit there by Malik Reed. Like I said, just a phenomenal play by him. Malik Reed's going to come up with a sack on the play against Cam Newton. I think he holds the ball too long here, but the Broncos, they're showing a too high safety look. Now, ideally, they're just playing robber coverage. Kareem Jackson's going to rotate to the middle of the field. Justin Simmons is going to creep down anything coming across the inside, whether it be from the number 2, the number 1, or even this guy. He's going to play anything that comes inside while you also have man coverage here. The Broncos, you're going to have Bradley Chubb on the outside, Malik Reed wide as well, and you're going to have man alignment, Alexander Johnson inside shade of this tight end here, and Josie Jewell man alignment on the running back out of the backfield. This is when the Patriots were creeping into the red zone here, making things a little bit interesting. Cam, everybody's covered. He has nowhere to go, and he's going to hold on the ball too long. He's going to eat the sack. Malik Reed coming up with a big-time play. Now, I love the next angle that we're going to see here because it really gives us an idea as to what Cam Newton's looking at, what the Broncos are doing. Now, defensively, you're going to see the alignment here. We can call this a 2-eye here by Mike Purcell. We're going to have this be called a 3 technique on the interior defensive line. Chubb wide, Malik Reed wide, man alignment, and then your 2-high safety look. Simmons going to creep down. Kareem Jackson's going to get back in his depth there, and essentially this is cover 1 all across the board here. So, as you can see, Cam Newton, he's looking for Edelman. You've got coverage right here on the hip, Kareem over the top, and then you have the corner obviously on the outside as well, not in the nickel. You have the outside cornerback, Michael Ojemudia, to the outside of Bryce Callahan. Nobody's there. Everybody's covered. Great coverage here, especially at the top of the screen. Malik Reed's going to bring down Cam Newton for the sack. This is going to be Malik Reed's second sack of the game against Cam Newton. Now, I'm going to pause it right here. Now, what we're going to see here, the Broncos right here, ideally, they're playing man-to-man coverage once again in the red zone. It's hard to play zone unless you want to give up some soft spots, but Bryce Callahan's inside the slot. It appears he's going to be covering this guy, but actually who he's going to be covering is Julian Edelman right here. Now, the route combination you're going to see, number 2, we call him number 2 because he's the second guy close to the line of scrimmage. He's going to run a deep over. Edelman's going to run the out route. Now, the Broncos get fortunate here that Cam Newton doesn't see this wide receiver right here coming free because it seems like there's miscommunication. Kareem's playing a little too far back. Michael's playing a little bit too far off. He comes inside. Seems like there's a miscommunication, and there was a window there where Cam Newton could have thrown it for a touchdown. But here comes Malik Reed dipping up inside. He was getting ready to, but he hesitated because Simmons was playing the underneath on that route there. So Simmons, he kind of gets Cam Newton to pump fake a little bit, and I'll show you here in just a second, okay? So we're going to see Malik Reed right here on the screen. Love this telestrator thing, by the way. Makes my life easier. Purcell lined up in a 0. You have Deshaun Williams here. Josie Jewell playing man alignment against James White. And then Alexander Johnson, he's playing inside shade of the tight end here. And they're just playing where Simmons is playing the underneath. Any crossing pattern he's going to have to pick up there. Now, watch Malik here. Now, he's going to attack outside. Deshaun Williams actually kind of coming a little too far upfield. Josie Jewell's going to come inside because he has to respect that James White could be a receiving threat. Now, what happens here, Malik is going to take an inside cut against the tackle. He's going to get in. Now, Cam Newton, you see, pump fakes. He sees Justin Simmons right here. He should have thrown that if he wanted to be able to get that. That would have been a touchdown. But he sees Simmons and anticipates he can jump that route, so he hesitates. Mike Purcell jumping up, high five there to you, and then down goes Cam Newton. Malik Reed with a sack once again. So Denver got fortunate there, but Malik Reed got home. Now, the Broncos against Kansas City, they had to find a way to be unique in the way that they played them. Now, as you can see right now, okay, it's trips to the left side of the defense, okay? Malik Reed is obviously playing the outside back position. You see Josie Jewell lined up inside number 3, Bryce Callahan against number 2, and AJ Bouye against number 1 on the outside. So it looks like those guys are playing man-to-man coverage. Well, there is man coverage being played here, but Josie Jewell is actually not playing coverage. He's going to blitz. So he's going to blitz off the outside. Malik Reed is going to take an inside step in because there's an outside blitzer. That means that Callahan's going to cover number 2, Bouye is going to cover number 1, and Justin Simmons is going to take coverage responsibility on number 3. This is just the way that the Broncos played the Chiefs this year. Now, Malik Reed is going to cut back inside, take a great trek on Le'Veon Bell, and tackle him -1 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Another TFL for him. He says he wants to set the bar even higher in 2021 when I talked with him this past week on Locked On Broncos. So you're going to see, because of the design, folks, it doesn't make sense schematically to send Malik Reed on the outside when you're already sending an outside guy there. It doesn't make much sense in that regard, especially when when it's gun right, or from the offensive perspective, it's gun right. From the defensive perspective, it's gun left. So Malik's going to come inside. Josie Jewell's coming to outside as well. Deshaun Williams. And then you're going to see the backside track there. Just a great angle once again, getting inside, being there for the cutback. That's good pursuit. I mean, Malik Reed is very disciplined at doing his job. I mean, that's the theme. Consistency, folks. The Broncos defensively played the Chiefs really well. Malik Reed had a couple of sacks in this game against the Chiefs and really kind of demonstrated, I think, Vic Fangio's formula for having success against KC. Now, what you're going to see, this is play action. Kelsey's going to release for a route. Number 48 replaces in pass pro, misses his block on Malik Reed. Malik Reed absolutely crushes Patrick Mahomes here, folks. And look, this was Denver's formula. They were able to get pressure. I mean, Patrick Mahomes did not have too much success against Denver in 2020. They played him really well. So I think if you build a strong defense, you're going to have a great chance here. Now, this looks like a heavy run formation, right? This is just going to be play action. Like I said, Kelsey releasing for a route. Number 48 coming up to replace in pass pro. Doesn't do a good job against Malik. Shelby Harris getting his arm up, his hand up at the line of scrimmage, but Malik Reed coming home with the sack for a big play for the Broncos defense. One thing we've talked about with Malik Reed is his edge discipline. He does his job here, keeps it, he attacks the block initially and sees where the cutback lane is by the running back. Right here, bam, he's going to try to come up and get skinny in here. Broncos defensive line does a great job of getting interior penetration, not getting pushed back. They do a good job holding their anchor, and Malik Reed is just going to sidestep inside, and he's going to make the play here. I mean, this is nothing fancy, but this is just fundamental football, folks. You want to look at a guy who's a technician. For a guy that was an undrafted rookie free agent that got passed up by so many NFL teams, impressed the Broncos coaching staff big time. One of the biggest reasons why is because he's so fundamentally sound. You're going to see that right here. Okay, number 48 is going to block. Now he's just attacking because if this guy, if Clyde Edwards-Helaire bounces outside, he's got to step outside as well. So he's going to hedge to the outside as much as he can. Hold that anchor strong. Great interior penetration here by the Broncos defensive line. DeMarcus Walker here, Alexander Johnson. They are clouding up where Clyde Edwards-Helaire can run through. So Malik Reed, because of that, he's just going to win his one-on-one, step back inside, and he's going to wrap up Clyde Edwards-Helaire on this play. Tackle for a loss. It's just a good play there by Malik Reed once again. The Miami Dolphins game was very fun to watch for Malik Reed and the Broncos defense in general against Tua. Now, what we're going to see here, this is another great disguise by Vic Fangio defensively. You're going to have man coverage. Bryce Callahan against the number 1 receiver on the right-hand side. You're going to have man coverage at the top. Saying Bassey's going to disguise like he's in man coverage against the number 2 receiver. He's actually going to be blitzing. Justin Simmons is going to play man on number 2. Alexander Johnson, he's going to play man on number 3 right here. Well, essentially number 2 because the tight end, he's on the right side. He's the second guy in. And then Josie Jewell playing man on the running back out of the backfield. Kareem Jackson's going to play that deep middle. So essentially a cover 1 here for the Broncos, replacing coverage by sending blitz packages. I love it. And so Malik Reed's going to take an inside track because you have blitz coming on the outside. And what we're going to see is Malik's going to get the inside track here. 2 of the pocket collapses around him, and he goes down. Malik makes a phenomenal play. The Broncos defensive line was super stout in 2020. Injuries really derailed them. So what you're going to see, once again, he's going to come inside track here because you're going to have Bassey coming off on the outside. And the hope in the scheme, when you do this, when you play legitimate man coverage, and McTelvin regime Sosa right there, you're hoping that this guy coming off the edge can come free because this tackle, you want him to focus on your pass rusher right here, hoping that you can have your edge guy come free, obviously out of the nickel. But obviously right there, Malik Reed working inside and just staying patient and persistent. He comes up with the sack on the play. Big-time tackle for loss here by Malik Reed. Great job by Deshaun Williams making it happen. So I'm going to dissect this play here, right? You have Mike Gesicki right here. He's going to come off the line of scrimmage and block Josie Jewell. He's not even worried about blocking Malik Reed. Malik Reed's going to be the free guy. But Deshaun Williams right here, he's lined up in a 3 technique. He's going to attack right here. He's going to focus the attention on the guard and the tackle, and Malik's going to come up underneath and make a play here. Now, the running play is going to be trying to come to the outside. It's going to be an initial draw, and then it's going to try to bounce to the outside. DeMarcus Walker playing right here inside of a 2-eye, and then Bradley Chubb off of the edge right here. So really the job is for Bradley Chubb to force that contain right here to be able to force the cut back inside where Alexander Johnson and Malik Reed are going to come back underneath. And that's exactly what happens right here. Malik is going to see the underneath track. He's going to come up and get a tackle for a loss in the backfield. Always great to see it from the end zone angle, but now we're taking a look at it here. I think this is the best way to see it. I mean, the sideline angle is what we just saw it in. This is the end zone angle here. So as you're going to see, Bradley Chubb is going to have to play contain right here. He's going to have to attack, and then he's going to have to stay heel line depth. He can't get too far inside because then the running back could take it and get to the outside edge, which was an issue for Denver leading up to this game here. But then you have, obviously, the 2-eye right here. You have the 3 technique. He's going to attack and command the attention. And then Malik Reed's going to come free here because boom, boom, blocking scheme right there. I got to love it. And ideally, I'm going to pause it right here. If they want to draw and run inside, Malik's going to make this play here. Johnson's going to make the play here. And ideally, because he sees that Johnson's coming here, Malik is coming here, he's going to try to bounce it outside. But Bradley Chubb also does a good job of not staying on this block and trying to step a little bit outward here and allows Malik to make the play. Good job. I mean, that's disciplined football. Malik Reed stood out in a big way for the Broncos in 2020. Now, on this play, it's 3rd and 10 for the Broncos. Malik Reed's going to cause some pressure to force an incomplete pass here. Now, the Broncos right here, you can see a 2-high safety look with Justin Simmons, Kareem Jackson. Out of the dime package, you're only going to have 1 inside linebacker, so you have Elijah Holder, Asang Bassi, Bryce Callahan, Kareem, Justin, and A.J. Bouye. That is the Broncos dime package here. Now, ideally, what you're going to see, this could be a variation of some cover 6, but because there's one receiver here, Bouye is going to play number 1 to the left side in man-to-man coverage. Justin Simmons is going to crawl a little bit towards the middle of the field. Kareem Jackson actually is going to have the deep third where the corner is supposed to be because Bryce Callahan is going to come up and play bump coverage on number 1 here, and then Asang Bassi is going to play firm in the slot against Jakeem Grant. Now, one of the things you have to take a look at here is you have a 2-back shotgun formation here. So if this guy swings out, the Broncos obviously have to have some rules to accommodate. This is where Alexander Johnson comes in. If this back swings out here, Elijah Holder is going to have to play him. So essentially, you have zone man concept. You're running man to one side, zone to the other side of the field, and Malik Reed's going to come off the left side, and he's going to cause pressure here. And really, his pressure could have forced almost a pick 6. Watch Callahan right at the top of your screen. He's coming up to play bump. Kareem's backing up. He's going to play from here all the way over here to the deep third level. Justin's going to climb to a little bit of the middle of the field here. Johnson's spying the tailback, man right here, and then Elijah Holder. He's dropping back, kind of playing this hook to curl, but if this guy swings out, he's going to pick him up, and then you have Bassi as well playing a little bit of that hook to curl as well. And then you have, obviously, the flats right here for Bryce Callahan. He's covering underneath, and then the Broncos rally to the play there. Really just a lot of different disguise looks for Vic Fangio in his defense. Now, take a look at the pressure here. They're leaving the A-gap vacated here. The Broncos are attacking upfield, attacking here because this is an evident passing situation. You want to try to at least attack around, create that bow, almost kind of like a U shape around the quarterback in terms of the pocket. A quick errant throw right there could have been a pick 6 easily, and that was pressure caused there by Malik Reed. The Broncos defense, they're facing a 3rd and goal situation. Well, not 3rd and goal, 3rd and 10 in the red zone. But what you have here is you have a trips to the defensive left side perspective. So the Broncos in their nickel package, 5 DBs against a 3-by-1 offensive formation here. Malik Reed's going to line up to the outside. The defensive end, too, Draymond Jones is going to line up outside the tackle. DeMarcus Walker is going to line ahead up on the center, and then Bradley Chubb right here off the edge. And they're just going to create that pressure where they collapse the pocket around. There's going to be a little bit of a stunt here where you're going to see an attack upfield. Malik Reed's going to come underneath as well. Same thing with Chubb. You're going to see that with DeMarcus Walker. Chubb's going to try to come up underneath. There's a holding call that doesn't get called here. But Denver's able to create this pressure, great coverage altogether, and they're going to bring Tua down for a sack and force the Dolphins to settle for a field goal in this situation. Now, as we take a look here from the other perspective, DeMarcus Walker, he's head up in a 0 technique, Chubb on the outside. man alignment right here between Alexander Johnson and the tailback. Josie Jewell playing man alignment at number 3 against Gesicki. Draymond Jones, he's playing outside, and then Malik Reed's playing wide as well. And this is going to be attack right here. Come up on the inside, attack outside, come up on the inside as well. Just a great stunt package here. Vic Fangio in his bag against the Miami Dolphins in this matchup here. Evident hold right there, and then you have a combination of all 3 players coming in to wrap up for the sack. I love Vic Fangio's defense, man. Let me tell you why here, okay? So on this play, Fitzpatrick is in the game for Tua. You have a 3-by-1 look. 3 receivers to the defensive right side, 1 receiver at the top of the screen. You're showing it out of a 2-high safety look. Here's what the Broncos are going to do. Okay, they're going to blitz Bradley Chubb. They're going to blitz Josie Jewell, who's playing alignment inside number 3, but they're actually going to go man coverage. Callahan on 1, Bassie on number 2, Kareem Jackson on number 3, and then man here, and then this guy is going to swing out. Malik Reed is going to see that because Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's not just dropping back, he's kind of dropping back and opening up, almost like a half-modified sprint pass. Alexander Johnson showing a blitz look. He's going to drop back for any kind of crossing pattern play right here, so Malik Reed is going to replace him in coverage with the tailback who's going to run a little bit to the outside. He does a great job tracking it, but overall the Broncos blitz scheme, bam, they're going to send that. Man coverage, man coverage, man coverage, man, and then you have a guy playing free. I love the dynamic that Denver plays defensively and keeping their coverages. I mean, you could show it out of a 2-high safety look. Nobody's going to really know what coverage Denver is running because they're very disciplined in Vic's scheme at not revealing their hand. And I like the blitz off the backside too because Josie Jewell, if Fitzpatrick doesn't get that ball out of his hands quickly, he's getting blasted by the outlaw. Now, on this play against the Saints, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I watch film on Malik Reed every single week, I'm saying, look, this guy is very disciplined. Let's create some misdirection to try to at least maybe get him a couple of inches off space. So you can have that motion here with Kamara, fake the handoff to Latavius Murray to the outside. You're down blocking here with your offensive line. You're showing that the ball is going to the defensive right. Instead, you're going to roll out backside. You're going to bring the outside backside wing underneath here to the flats. Malik doesn't have to worry about that because they already have a guy in coverage there. Because this guy's running off, you're going to have Boye and Simmons playing him. So it's just chaos right here. Now, because of the fact, look, you can make his life easier. You can give him a little bit of a tug, which he does. He bumps him right there. It's going to help for this guy to replace in coverage. Now Malik's going to go after the quarterback. And Taysom Hill, he's an athletic player. He's got a little bit of speed to him. He gets a little bit of that edge there. And he makes the Broncos pay. Not really, in a sense. He gets a few yards on the play here, but, for Malik Reed. Now, I'm going to show you this right here, okay? So now we're going to see the anatomy of play. Kamara is coming all the way here. Latavius Murray here. Down blocks by the offensive line altogether. So Malik Reed, he's going to step down, right? These guys are down blocking. He's got to step, heel line depth, and they bring this guy backside. So what you're going to see is that misdirection play here. This is actually a really smart play design. Now, you see it now. He plants his foot in the ground. He's going to have to take a step here because this guy's coming up. He's like, all right, I got to get a little bit of hands-on this backside receiver here. And now I've got to take an angle here. Now, it's hard because he's already wide enough. He's going to get to the outside, so Malik's going to take the best angle possible to try to track to that near hip. Now, because of the pressure there and because that Bassie is right there, it makes the job a little bit easier. He's looking at a couple rather than getting a big gain on the play. Now, on this play, Malik Reed's going to make a play. He gets a little too far inside initially, but I'm going to show you. They're going to have the motion here. It's going to be a handoff to Mike Davis here, but they're going to bring this guy backside to try to block down Malik Reed because of what's happening. Offensive line, they are down blocking. So Malik Reed, he's going to play it tight, heel line depth to the line of scrimmage. You guys have heard me say that a lot during this film review. Heel line, and he's going to track it back inside. Now, he kind of bounces into this block right here, but he's able to rebound off of that and make the play on Davis here in the red zone here. So as you can see, bumps on that block a little bit, gets caught a little too far inside, but still makes it an effort to come back and to wrap up and secure, only a gain of 1 or 2 on the play here total. Then again, look, you're going to live with that right there. So now we're going to see it from the other angle. The motion, a lot of misdirection. This guy doesn't do a very good job even chipping Malik. If I was a coach, I'd say, hey, you got to chip the hell out of 59, make it easier, because then you're bringing 86 backside to block him as well because you have the down block here, unless this guy's going to go up here and block this play side linebacker. But ideally, this is where Malik Reed, his discipline on the edge, has come in to help him. Now what's going to happen is the inside handoff, boom, block, as I mentioned. Malik comes a little bit too far inside. This guy doesn't hold on to the block long enough, and so he's able to come out here. Johnson's coming to the outside as well, so really there's nowhere for Davis to go. It's a good recovery play there by Malik. Now, this is the Broncos game against the Chargers in Week 15. Now, this is just another example of the ball not falling the Broncos' way. I mean, even though they made a play defensively, Malik Reed's going to wrap all the way around because Herbert's going to roll out to his left. And just great effort, great hustle. Malik forces a fumble right before halftime. This is towards the final moments of the first half, and Denver would have been in field goal range. You know, when you think about it, just an opportunity where the ball, once again, just doesn't bounce their way. Great play there by the Broncos defense. They played against Justin Herbert really damn well in this game, too. He was lighting up the NFL world his rookie season. And even in that first half against the Broncos in their first matchup, he did. But the Broncos have kind of found a little bit of a way to play him, I think, relatively well. It'll be interesting to see how things go this year. But great effort play there by Malik Reed. The Broncos against the Raiders in the Week 17 regular season finale for 2020 here. And the Broncos are going to get a sack here on third down. Now, what you see here is you have three wide receivers to the defensive left, and Darren Waller is going to actually come and chip release against Malik Reed. If I'm a Raiders coach, I say, look, man, you got to chip number 59 a little bit better than you did. It was kind of a soft chip release here, but the Broncos, they're going to send five initially. They're going to send Malik Reed, Draymond Jones, DeMarcus Walker, Jeremiah Tauchu, and Josie Jewell. However, this running back's going to show as if he's going to come up and help in terms of blocking. He's going to leak out, so Josie Jewell actually has to kill that. He has to reroute against the tailback, so the Broncos end up sending four. But because of the stunt and the pressure created by DeMarcus Walker on the interior, Draymond Jones wraps up Derek Carr in his lap. Malik Reed comes in and finishes as well. It's a sack party at Empower Field at Mile High. And obviously, we're going to take a look at it here from the end zone angle. The best way to watch trench warfare, folks. As you can see, DeMarcus Walker, he's lined up in a zero tech. Draymond Jones, he's outside the tackle here. Broncos playing Elijah Holder here against number 3. Chip release, soft chip release against Malik Reed by Darren Waller. And then Jeremiah Tauchu coming up on the outside here. But really, you're going to see the attack. DeMarcus Walker coming across. Draymond Jones coming up, Josie Jewell initially, and then Tauchu off the edge here, and then Malik's going to come upfield, and he's going to clean up this play here from behind. Just persistence, just not stopping until the whistle is blown, driving your feet, still making a play, coming in and cleaning up Derek Carr. Good play there by the Broncos defense. High motor discipline. These are the themes that you guys have heard me talk about in this film review when it comes to Malik Reed and his value here. Now, he's going to work off the edge against the right tackle, and he's actually going to push the tackle back kind of in the pocket and in the lap here of Derek Carr. And Malik, he's going to bring his hand through. He's going to try to swipe at the ball, and it forces Carr to throw it to the back of the end zone. This pressure really created a good opportunity for Denver defensively rather than throwing it to a wide open guy, especially number 89, who's a big, solid target here for the Raiders. But I just want you guys to watch the Broncos defensive pressure. Now, what they do, they're moving guys around. Josie Jewell's moving around. Alexander Johnson's moving around. Tauchu here. You have Sosa right here. He's lined up in a 2-eye. And then you have Draymond Jones kind of playing that split 3, kind of the apex between a 4-eye and a 3-tech, and then Malik coming off the edge here. But just watch how he closes down. He'll line depth. Now, look, you got working here, you're working here. Johnson's playing spy right here on Josh Jacobs, and now Malik's going to hand battle. He's going to try to step down and push the tackle back into Derek Carr's lap. Now, look at that. The leverage. Malik is the lower man. He's pushing him back. He's off one leg here, and this guy is going to fall into the lap of Derek Carr. So now he's going to bring his hand through, and he's going to try to swipe that football away. He's doing that, and it forces Carr to have to get rid of it. That is great pressure there by Malik Reed, folks. Really looking forward to seeing what he can do in 2021.